President Park Geun-hye plans a summit with U.S. President Barack Obama for October to discuss the bilateral alliance and cooperation on the North Korea nuclear issue. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called on Japan to reflect on its past as attention swings to the Japanese Prime Minister's upcoming World War II statement. And with this year marking the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence, businesses have launched marketing efforts arousing patriotism. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, August 13th. I'm Luke Clary. President Park Geun-hye will hold a summit meeting with U.S. President Barack Obama on October 16th. The meeting was originally scheduled for earlier this year, but was postponed due to the MERS outbreak in Korea. The two heads of state will likely discuss ways to strengthen the bilateral alliance and cooperate on the North Korea nuclear issue.
The presidential office says President Park Geun-hye will hold her fourth summit meeting with U.S. President Barack Obama in Washington on October 16. The two heads of state will discuss ways to strengthen the bilateral alliance and cooperation on North Korea's nuclear issue. They will also tackle a broad range of issues such as bilateral cooperation in achieving peace, stability, and prosperity in Northeast Asia and the expansion of global partnership. Now that Seoul and Washington have set the date for the summit meeting, President Park will likely be able to attend the ceremony in China, marking the 70th anniversary of the victory over Japan in World War II. The South Korean president will attend the ceremony, which is slated for early September, at the invitation of the Chinese government. Observers say that the presidential office took an unprecedented step to announce the date of the upcoming Korea-U.S. summit more than 2 months ahead, even before announcing the president's plan to visit China in order to show consideration for Washington.
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has called on Japan to humbly reflect on its past in a statement marking the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II. Attention now turns to Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's remarks on a visit to his hometown that the commemorative statement will express Japan's regret about the war. Here's more.
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon urged Japan to humbly reflect on its past wrongdoings. A spokesperson for Ban said that it is his stance on Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's statement marking the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II to be issued on Friday.
His sincere hopes that the anniversary will serve as a somber occasion to reflect on past history and to encourage all countries in the region to move forward together.
Ban pressured the Japanese government in a roundabout way, saying that it is important to remember the past for a better future. However, it is unusual for him to use the direct expression reflection on past wrongdoings. The latest remarks are interpreted as stronger pressure in keeping with the position of the international community. The Japanese Prime Minister visited his hometown Yamaguchi Prefecture on Wednesday ahead of the release of the statement. In a speech for local Liberal Democratic Party members, Abe said that the commemorative statement will express Japan's resolution to contribute to the international community as a pacifist nation based on its deep regret of World War II. The Japanese Prime Minister will issue the statement on Friday afternoon after returning to Tokyo earlier in the day.
Reports suggest that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un executed Vice Premier Chae Young-gun back in May, stepping up the North Korean regime's cruelty and reign of terror.
North Korea's Vice Premier Chae Young-gun visited Seoul in June of 2005 as the chief envoy to the inter-Korean ministerial talks. Born in 1951, Chae was an established government official who mostly tackled economic issues. In June last year, he was appointed as one of the 7 vice premiers in the North Korean regime.
최영건 동지를 조선민주주의인민공화국 내각부총리로 임명한다.
After his appointment, Chae appeared in the North Korean media once every month or two. but he hasn't been seen in public since his appearance at the ceremony marking the 3rd anniversary of Kim Jong-il's death in December last year. A government source says that Che was executed in May for speaking out against Kim Jong-un's policies. The source added that Che was executed by firing squad for his complaints over Kim Jong-un's forestry policies and the failure to produce results. Earlier, South Korea's National Intelligence Service said that more than 70 government officials have been executed since Kim Jong-un took power, including Chang Song-taek and Hyun Young-chul.
With this year marking the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence, businesses have launched marketing efforts arousing patriotism. They encourage South Koreans to ruminate on the meaning of patriotism while hosting various events to boost the sluggish economy. Let's take a look.
A tram runs along the street, and in a corner, a charcoal vendor laboriously delivers his products. This is a scene from downtown Seoul in the 1940s. On August 15, 1945, Koreans take to the streets waving national flags to celebrate the nation's liberation. This photo exhibition was held by a department store to reflect on the present through past events some 70 years ago.
궁핍하고 힘들었던 게 많이 느껴졌고요. 지나가면서 보는 건물이거든요. 근데 그 앞이 되게 많이 변한 것 같아서 신기하고.
The national flag taegukgi is an indispensable part of the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence. High-rise buildings in downtown areas are decorated with the flags, and related videos are aired at night. Corporations are focusing on reviving the depressed economy. Samsung Electronics purchased more than $8.5 million worth of government-issued onnuri gift certificates to give to employees who worked during the Independence Day holiday period. Distributors such as department stores and major supermarkets are holding large-scale sale events. Fireworks festivals will be held on August 14th and 15th across the nation to help revitalize the sluggish economy.
Overloaded trucks pose a major threat to other drivers on the highway. A study has revealed that overloaded trucks take longer to come to a stop, raising the risk of traffic accidents.
A large truck fails to slow down and hits several vehicles ahead of it. A passenger car bounces off like a toy right before the truck slams into the median with its freight spilling out. Another truck speeding on a rainy day hits a guardrail because it's unable to endure its own weight. It finally grinds to a stop after crashing into the median. All of these accidents were caused by overloading. This test compares the braking distances of 9.5-ton trucks loaded with 18.5 tons of freight, nearly twice the capacity. When compared to the truck stopping performance with the prescribed 9.5 tons of freight, the heavier trucks skidded 12.4 meters longer in dry conditions and 14.7 meters longer on slippery roads. Both braking distances significantly exceeded the safe braking distance of 36.7 meters. Improperly loaded trucks also contribute to traffic accidents. Over the past 5 years, more than 204 highway accidents were caused by objects falling out of trucks. As a result, 72 people sustained injuries and 1 person died.
실제 중량에 맞게 실어서 운행하는 게 중요하고요. 정해진 규격에 맞춰서 안전하게 체결해서.
Trucks account for only 16.7% of all vehicles in Korea, but are responsible for 22.5% of all traffic accident-related deaths in the nation.
Cicadas sing loudly in the treetops throughout the summer, another harbinger that summer is in its full swing. However, their chirping often causes a great level of noise pollution. A college conducted a test on the correlation between cicada chirping and stress with interesting findings.
Cicadas chirp endlessly in a park. The loudness is found to exceed 80 decibels. That's a level similar to the noise caused by vehicles on a major street. Conducting a test on 50 subjects, a college research team analyzed different levels of stress felt by men and women due to the sound of cicadas. The researchers measured changes in the subjects' vocal frequency ranges before and after they heard the cicadas. The range for men jumped by a factor of more than 3, while women showed a 50% drop.
저 같은 경우에는 처음에도 신경 쓰였는데 소음이 다 끝나고 난 후까지도 신경이 계속 쓰였어요.
The vocal frequency range increases when under stress. Test results show that men are more sensitive to the sound of cicadas than women.
여성 같은 경우는 스트레스 대처 능력이 뛰어나다는 거죠. 그래서 도리어 그 스트레스를 낮추는 쪽에 즉각적인 반응이 일어나는 그런 실험 결과를 얻을 수 있었습니다.
The findings will be published in the Journal of the Korean Institute of Communications and Information Sciences in November.
The government has issued a commemorative stamp for the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence. Stamps celebrating Korea's Independence Day provide a glimpse into the nation's history and important events at the time.
The first Independence Day commemorative stamp was issued in 1955 to mark the first decade of Korea's liberation. The 20th anniversary commemorative stamp issued in 1965. And the 30th anniversary stamp from 1975 evidently show how much Korea has grown over the decades. The Tongil rice variety planted in the rural areas prone to spring starvation noticeably improved the lives of Korean people, while the Gyeongbu Expressway opened to connect Seoul and Busan. The 1980s was a period defined by the iconic KBS program Search for Separated Families and the first reunion of separated families. As if to reflect the decade's characteristics, the commemorative stamps for the 40th and 50th anniversaries of Korea's independence featured Lake Cheonji on top of Mount Paektu and the people's fervent hope for unification.
광복의 의미를 새기면서 그 시대에 맞는 국민적 관심과 자부심을 담을 수 있는 소재에 주안점을 두고 있습니다.
This year's 70th Independence Day commemorative stamp shows the respected leader of the Korean resistance forces, Kim Gu, and the Korean flag signed by freedom fighters, underlining the forefathers' determination for independence.
Classic martial arts films are no longer the domain of Chinese cinema. A new sword-wielding action film starring Lee Byung-hun, Chun Do-yeon, and Kim Go-eun is opening this week. Here's more on some of the Korean films to be released this week.
Warlords ruled and swords met power in the Goryeo dynasty. 3 swordsmen vowed to change the world and start a civil uprising, but Yubek's betrayal foils the rebellion and the story races toward a tragic end. Yeonu is a successful single lawyer. One day she gets into a car accident and meets the Grim Reaper, who offers her a chance to live as another person for a month. The movie follows the path she takes to realize what's really important in life in ways that are sometimes comical and sometimes serious. What is work to you? This documentary film poses this simple yet profound question to the audience while spotlighting the lives of female workers. In May of this year, director Im Hung-soon became the first Korean filmmaker to win the Silver Lion Award at the Venice Biennale with this film.
The end of the monsoon season has given way to a sweltering heat wave. People should watch out for heat-related illnesses such as heat stroke these days. Today, we have health tips on fighting the heat. With the summer heat at its peak, it's especially important to take health precautions. Heat exhaustion is a leading heat-related disease. Heat exhaustion comes when people exposed to hot air and strong sunlight for an extended period fail to properly adjust their body temperature.
땀을 많이 흘리고 그다음에 창백하고 그다음에 어지러움, 두통 또는 구역질 이런 것들이 발생하기도 합니다.
It's different from heat stroke. Heat stroke occurs when a person is exposed to a hot and humid environment like a vinyl greenhouse for a long time. In a heat stroke, it's not atypical that a person suffering a fever of over 40 degrees Celsius still exhibits no sweating.
땀을 못 내게 되는 경우에는 체온이 우리 몸에서 아주 급격히 높아지게 됩니다. 심한 경우에는 의식의 어떤 변화라든가 이런 착란 이런 것까지도 생길 수 있습니다.
Heat illnesses demand contingency measures. First, move the patient to a cool place and check if he or she is still conscious.
괜찮아?
If conscious, replenish the patient with abundant water and call authorities immediately. While waiting for the ambulance, undress the patient to lower body temperature and further cool off the body with cool water. If possible, try massaging the whole body with ice or alcohol. Let's look at prevention now. How can we prevent heat illnesses? Refrain from outdoor activities the best you can between noon and 5 p.m. when the mercury is at its highest. If you must go out, wear a cap and loose-fitting clothes to help easily discharge excess body heat. Also take regular rests in the shade and provide your body with the minerals and salt it needs by drinking cool water or ion sports beverages. As the muggy heat continues, take precautions to make sure you enjoy good health throughout the rest of the summer. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for being with us. Tomorrow, we observe the 70th anniversary of Korea's national liberation, and so we will return on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.